I am Aquene Watkins-Wise, and I own Royally Fit LLC. Royally Fit really got started out of a constant, being a constant resource. So my husband, who was actively in the military, was be deployed, and during his different deployments, was constantly in the gym working out, and he started powerlifting and bodybuilding. And then he just became a resource for all his friends on base, for our family, for our friends, asking about health and wellness, about fitness, how to train them. Could he create a meal plan for them so they could bulk up or lose weight or what have you? And so we really just formulated that into a fitness focused business several years ago. And then about 2019, we rebranded into Royally Fit to expand and include a lot more holistic health and wellness products and services. COVID-19 has had a great effect on our business, a huge effect on our business, in that our retail store in East Liberty has been closed through the entire pandemic. It's bittersweet that we say that it's closed because our retail store is also being used for essential items and PPE distribution. So we're happy to be a part of that distribution. However, unfortunately, we're not able to utilize the retail aspect of our store. It's also really provided a hindrance on our community wellness programming, being that we're not able to really allow for so many, but to allow for but so many people to gather in our spaces. So when we provide these free resources and these free workshops, the goal is really to bring out as many community members as possible so that we can reach, heal, and provide resources for as many community members as possible. So COVID-19 has really limited how many people we're able to reach through our free screenings, through our workshops that we do in our communities. It's also really hindered our ability to be indoors, especially as it's gotten colder. We're striving not to create any super spreader type of events. So COVID-19 has really hindered our ability to provide our no-cost community wellness programming effectively and reach large scale amounts of people. We've also really lost a lot of revenue in 2020, as you can imagine, with our retail space being closed, people not having the same foot traffic or instant access to us as they typically would otherwise. And so, and then people also not having the funds to shop with us has also been a great hindrance. A lot of people, unfortunately, consider health and wellness products to be non-essential items, which, is, when you're in a pandemic that's around health and wellness, it would seem as if health and wellness services would be paramount in folks' mind, but unfortunately that's not been the case. So we've not had as many people purchasing our products either during this pandemic, which has definitely taken a hit on our revenue. I chose to participate in New Sun Rising Small Business Workshop because it was focused in Homewood. And Homewood is the target area where we launched our first round of our no-cost mobile community wellness programming. So being a very proud Homewood native, I wanted to provide free health and wellness programming on a mobile manner, trying to really eliminate as many barriers as possible for people in my community who look like me, who were really in need of resources. We know that Homewood is a resource desert in many aspects of the word. And so Royally Fit was really striving to implement wellness programming that filled those gaps and really met those needs. And so when we learned of a workshop that supported businesses providing resources and services in Homewood, it just felt like a natural fit for us. It just made sense. The experience that I had in the New Sun Rising workshop was extremely positive. I got a chance to make some connections and revisits with some people that I hadn't seen or spoken with in some time, especially because of the pandemic, not really being able to communicate and network with people the same way. So it was really great to be able to connect with folks again as a direct result of the workshop. It was also a wonderful experience for me because Royally Fit won the pitch competition at the that took place during the workshop. So that was a wonderful experience because it provided us some additional capital to funnel into our community wellness work program, which as I said is currently really taking a hit with respect to COVID. So that was a wonderful experience for us having that opportunity. We also learned about some new and upcoming support systems that'll be in place and with different organizations and folks who are coming to Homewood. So it's really great to be in on that ground floor, getting to know of what's up and coming and happening in the community that we serve. So that was super advantageous for us. I think the changes that have happened since then have really been in being more intentional on what we do with our resources and really being very intentional with relationship building. Our goal is to connect with other organizations who are also really passionate about health and wellness, who are also really passionate about community service, and who also have the budgets to facilitate said programming. And so working with New Sun Rising through this workshop and the continuous support received and that we're working with now has really started to facilitate some of those relationships. The advice that I would give to other small businesses in my community is to invest in the foundation and building a strong foundation for your business. Even though as a startup, you may not have money flowing as fluidly, it is imperative that if you hire no one else, that you hire an accountant who can take care of your finances and your taxes, and that you retain an attorney who can assist with your contracts, who can assist with your operating agreement and all of the procedure and policy paperwork that's necessary for your business. Having a strong foundation for your business is essential. So if you take time for nothing else, invest in hiring an accountant and an attorney.
So my name is Khalil Malik. I'm the co-founder and ambassador for Empty Space Project. My business started back in 2018. I was renting out a studio space and invited our founder, Damon Palmer, to see the space while it was still empty. And we were brainstorming about ideas of how we could utilize the space during renovation because it was going to be a few months before we were up and running where we wanted to be. And that's when he came up with the name and the idea for Empty Space Project, where we just utilized the room while it was still empty, inviting artists and different small business owners that we knew to see the space, get them excited about what was coming to help us, visualize the next step. And we filmed the entire process. And when we put that content out, that's when our business became official and multiple venues began to reach out and asking us to do the same thing. So my job as the ambassador is creating those outside relationships with the different locations and different small businesses, partnering with properties that are under development and helping them utilize their space while they're still renovating, while they're trying to figure out what the next step is. So a large part of our business is providing an experience for people. We're creating film sets in locations that aren't usually facilitated for film. So it's hard enough as is gathering the correct artists and audio engineers and lighting techs to make these films happen. COVID-19 limited the amount of people we could have on set. So we had to be very resourceful with the people that we invited to be a part of pre-production and the day of filming. It limited the amount of events that we could do. We started 2020 with plans of throwing events as a source of revenue. Most of our film sets are private. The only people there are the artists. So at the beginning of 2020 last year, we wanted to open that up to the public and allow people to see what it is that we do behind the scenes. We successfully only did 2 events before the business shut down, and we had to rethink how we would do that. So now, following CDC guidelines, we're trying to limit the amount of people who are on set and figure out how many people we can get that know how to do multiple things to help facilitate these films being created as easily as possible. Word to mouth advertising is what brought it across my desk. A lot of my friends, a lot of people who we've been in business with in the past mentioned that they worked with New Sun Rising and mentioned this workshop for us. They said it would be a great place to get information. So I went in there, eager to learn something new to see how we could improve our business model or create some new relationships. So hearing about it through people who have already done business with, gave them good recommendations. So when I went into the workshop, I was eager to see what we could learn there. Definitely a lot of positive changes have been made. The biggest thing that I took away from the workshop were the different ways in which company, once it already has a brand identity developed, the many ways that you can capitalize on that brand and monetize the different things that you're already doing. When I went into the workshop, one of the main things that I was talking with the mentor one-on-one about was trying to find ways that we can generate revenue with this idea. And they gave me a lot of different great tips, but the main thing that I walked away with was the services that we're already providing can be itemized and sold separately to people who need them, because we're giving a full production to people every time when we're making these films. But every organization or every business isn't necessarily going to need that full production. So just itemizing the different things that we do and splitting our teams up into smaller little groups that can help people has definitely helped us throughout the year. I think that the grant that was got after the workshop did wonders for us, helping us invest back into the business. And a lot of donations from our fans and other institutions have come since then. Once they heard about our involvement with New Sun Rising in that workshop, a lot of people were eager to figure out what it was that we're doing and get involved. You know, our business is only a year old. The idea is 2 years old, but we only been in official business for about a year now. And in the first year, we were hit with the pandemic and forced to adapt. So my only advice really is just be ready for change, be ready, adapt to this new landscape. What we've been doing and what I've been talking to my team about to get them prepared is just getting in the mindset that business has to be done within these guidelines. Not even upsetting yourself or longing for the world to go back to normal or what we used to know. Just preparing yourself as much as possible to make your business adapt and fit into the landscape that we have now.